Mode.
Hey, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are out there on the East Coast or the West Coast. This is Scott Nelson here, and I want to welcome you to our special Saturday uh, My Results Consultant Training. We have an incredible training by one of our leaders, Mr. Scott Giorgini, that will get kicked off here in just a moment. We want to give everybody just a couple of extra minutes because it is Saturday morning out here on the West Coast. We want to welcome all of our team members. It's a very exciting time in the history of My Results. We're getting very close now to the actual pre-launch, the official pre-launch, which means the release of our brand new members back office with our shopping cart, our retail access for our customers, the opportunity for you to go in there and set up your monthly auto ship, what we call our order assurance program, to be able to select your first product or products. And so we're really excited. We're going to have a very unique call tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. That's Sunday. And I'll be joined by my co-founding buddy and friend and business partner, Mr. Trip Mayhew. We've got a lot of things to share that are going to really get people motivated and ready to go. So you definitely want to make sure you jump on Sunday night. That will be at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock Pacific Time tomorrow night, Sunday. I will be sending out a registration link. You'll want to make sure you get that out to all of your guests. We're going to have a really great call, and we really want to encourage you to get everybody that you know to attend tomorrow night. There'll also be a lot of announcements about what's coming over the next couple of weeks as My Results actually launches into our official pre-launch. So that's going to be a very exciting night tomorrow night, Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Well, we're really blessed. One of my dear closest friends from many years back now, and we have a lot of incredible memories together of our previous business experience together, and we're looking forward to creating many memories with each other and with you as consultants of My Results. He's also been hosting and will continue to be a very big part of the future of My Results. He's been hosting our Thursday night opportunity presentations, does a tremendous job. But today, Scott Giorgini has put together a social media boot camp. Many of you have been saying, you know, I don't really have a lot of friends or people that I know that are interested in hearing back from me, because it's kind of like that NFL, that no friends left league. Well, what we want to do on these Saturday morning trainings is make sure that you have a lot of different ways that you can reach out and contact people to share the information about the products and the opportunity with My Results. And today we're privileged to have Scott Giorgini come and spend about an hour with us and give us some really great basic training on how to use social media in order to help you promote your business with My Results. So Scott, I hope you can hear me okay. We're so thrilled to have you here today, and I know you got a lot of incredible information for everybody on the webinar today. So welcome.
Oh, Scott, I'm glad to be here. Hear you loud and clear, my friend. It is so good to be here, and I'm so excited about what's happening here with My Results. As Scott said, we have a lot of great memories from the past and in using this business model. And I'll tell you what, we've been honing it for the last 8 years, folks. What we're going to do with My Results is going to make what was done in the past pale by comparison. And one of the things that has evolved since we first did direct response network marketing, of course, is social media. I think I made my first foray into social media right after my first foray into direct response network marketing. As a matter of fact, I got on Twitter. As a matter of fact, the presentation that I'm going to share with you today, folks, has been evolving over the years too, which is great because social media itself has been evolving. And as you can see, it kind of has a Twitter look to it. It was originally called Twitter Bootcamp. And using some of the methods I'm going to show you, I actually organically grew a list of over 30,000 followers on Twitter. Well, obviously, Facebook has come into the fray since then. It's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, as well as Google Plus, Pinterest, and all the other social media avenues that you have, or YouTube for that matter. Well, we're going to try to give you some basic strategies of how to tie all that together, how to grow your network, and how to become big time, just like a Scott Nelson or Trip Mayhew. That's the kind of person we want to be here, folks. So without further ado, let's get into the information. Now, some of this is going to seem pretty basic. Some of it's going to get a little more advanced, but hopefully you folks can follow along. Let me get these slides to go. Hold on a second. My slides are not advancing. There we go. Okay, so here you go. Social media in a nutshell is based on micro-blogging, and micro-blogging means mini blog posts. And you see a lot of people out there have their own websites and their own blogs, and they write these big, long articles, and people go to them and like and share them. Well, you can see on Twitter, your micro-blog posts are going to be limited to 140 characters. So you got to be really brief there. You got to get to the point. However, what I will say is if you're using Facebook or Google Plus or something like that, even though you are less limited as to the length of your posts, you generally want to try to keep it to 100 words or less. You got to remember people's attention span is not that long. And just think of the way that you personally consume Facebook or Google Plus or something like that. You just want to read the posts on there and keep bouncing down the page and see what everybody's doing. So again, don't post a novel on Facebook or Google Plus or anything like that. If you're going to do anything, if you write a big long post and it's great stuff, you could probably actually get a week's worth of content out of it just by breaking it down into smaller, more digestible pieces. Now, the best part about social media, though, is it's also a powerful tool that's going to allow you to brand yourself, and let those words hang in your head, folks. Brand yourself. And more importantly, network and get your message out to a targeted group of people. And that is powerful. Now, social media sites, I like to equate them to a giant online convention. We've all been to conventions for our opportunities or whatever. So you're going to see all kinds of people at these conventions. You're going to see celebrities like Lady Gaga or Shaq or P. Diddy, or even some people that maybe aren't in the limelight anymore, but they're still hanging around, like MC Hammer, the guy that played Data on Star Trek, even Snooki from the Jersey Shore. You see these people all over social media. I don't want to get into it, but you'll see politicians as well. I pretty much get sick of them by this time of the year. But and you also see, as far as celebrities go, fictional characters. Darth Vader has his own Twitter account, and it's hilarious. You can see Yoda, HR Puffin stuff. You can find them all over social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, etc. Now, you're also going to see what I call keynote speakers. These are people in the personal development arena that we all know, like Tony Robbins or Randy Gage on the lower right, or Joe Vitale. There's even people such as the late, great Jim Rohn, the late, great Zig Ziglar, that still have their pages up, and their legacy groups are pushing those pages forward. So again, all great stuff that we love to see. And if you were at a big convention somewhere, chances are one of these people would come in as a keynote speaker at your event. And of course, one of the biggest reasons we're here is because there are networkers on social media. Whether they're from your own company or better yet from other companies, you can meet and connect with networkers from all over the world on social media. Now, unfortunately, there's also scammers and spammers, so you have to watch out for them, but there's a few strategies you can take to protect yourself. Now, the power of social media, again, it allows you to build a high-quality list of followers and friends, a network, if you will. And Scott Nelson did an amazing job a couple weeks ago on the email marketing training that he did. And folks, that's what it's all about. It's about the list. You can build a list of friends and followers, a network, if you will. And I'll get into it. It's free, folks. And that's at the bottom of this slide. I got ahead of myself. But the best part is no SEO skills. In other words, search engine optimization. If you had a blog or something like that, you have to use all these little search engine optimization tricks to get your posts up to the top of the ranking, on top of the Google ranking. Well, you don't have to have those skills to do it in Facebook or something like that. It allows you to interact and build relationships with your list. This way you establish trust. You find out what the people on your list need, want, or don't want. Again, that's highly important because, as I always like to say, your business is not about you. It's not about your products. It's about helping the people on your list get the things they need, want, or don't want. They need to lose weight. They want to fit into their wedding dress. They don't want to uh, get all the, say, adverse effects of being overweight. So you guys get what I'm saying there. Now, again, it allows you to network, and it's a great way to promote your blog, your website, your events, my results, anything you want to promote, you can promote on social media and do it effectively. And as I said before, it's free. The price is wonderful. So, let's go over a little social media vocabulary. Friends and followers. Again, some of this is a little basic, some will be a little more advanced, but friends and followers are obviously the people who opt in to your posts and tweets. That's the beautiful thing about social media, folks. People are actually opting in to read what you are putting up. You know, if they didn't like what you were posting, they would unfriend you or unfollow you really fast. Well, they've opted in to read what you're posting, so they're obviously interested at least a little bit in what you have to say. Posts and tweets, these are updates on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, etc. Now, when you share or retweet something, that's when you repost something that somebody else has put up. And this is great when somebody does this for you, because now something that you put up that got reposted or retweeted by somebody else is exposed to their network of friends and followers. Now, if you're going to do this for somebody else, you always want to give credit to the original poster. A lot of times, the social media services do it automatically now. But, you know, a lot of times I'll say, hey, great point here from Scott Nelson or something like that, and tag them in the post. And then that way people know where it originally came from. A hashtag, again, you put the little tic-tac-toe board before writing whatever. Let's say we're talking about Darth Vader. It'd be hashtag Darth Vader, all one word, no dashes, no spaces. Basically, it allows a user to mark tweets or posts on a specific topic so they can all be viewed together. As a matter of fact, if you click on a hashtag, in other words, if I were to click on and it'll say hashtag Darth Vader, all of a sudden I'll be taken to a page where it's all posts about Darth Vader. So you guys get the idea. Could be hashtag my results. Bang. All of a sudden you're on a page about posts about my results. Now, tag is when you place the little @ symbol before somebody's name. And what that does, and if you notice on Facebook, if you do that, you put the little @ symbol there and you start typing their name, a list of people on your friends list will pop up and you click on the person who you're talking about. And they'll get a notification that you actually mentioned them in a post. And that's great. It's a great way for you to connect with people. That way they know that you're starting a conversation with them. They'll very more often than not respond to your comment. Okay. Inbox, DM, in other words, direct message, PM, or private message. This is when you send a private message, obviously, to somebody, and it's visible only to the recipient. It's not visible to your whole network. Now, a bot. These are automated systems that allow you to post updates or build a list of friends and followers. Now, I have seen a lot of these over the years, and I have seen people build huge networks of friends or followers by using an automated system. And there's somebody always promoting, oh, get 1,000 followers a day or whatever. But the thing I found is that if you use a bot to get followers, you end up being followed by bots. You want a quality network. That's what you're looking to build, folks. You want real people that you can have real interactions with and build real relationships with. That's how you build a business using social media. So resist the bots, or resist going to someplace like Fiverr, Fiverr.com, which is great for a lot of things, but there's a lot of people on there that you pay them $5 and they'll give you 10,000 Twitter followers or something like that. But the thing is, folks, most of these are fake accounts. They're useless. It's just basically smoke and mirrors if you want to look like a big shot. You're much better suited having a smaller network of quality friends and followers than a big, huge network of ones that are fake or useless. Okay, now let's talk about your main goals on social media. Number one, you want to build a solid network of targeted friends and followers. You want other networkers, other business opportunity seekers. You want to brand yourself. Again, a lot of people will get into a company, they'll be really excited about it, and the next thing you know, you look at their profile pic and it's the company logo. You look at their cover picture and it's all about the company. Well, people join people, not businesses. folks, I know My Results is the best thing there is out there. But again, you want to build a relationship with your network and they want to build a relationship with you. And then you can introduce them to My Results. I hope that makes sense. You want to brand yourself and promote your business. So not that I won't use a cover picture that's going to have My Results on it, because it certainly will, but definitely your profile picture should be you. And we'll get into that in a little bit. Now, again, most importantly, you want to develop relationships with the people in your network, just like you would in real life, just like you would if you were face to face with them, meeting them, shaking their hand. You want to develop relationships. You want to be able to comment on them and start virtual conversations. And we'll get into how to do that in just a little bit. And of course, you want to create awareness for the things that you are posting. And there's definitely strategies that you want to use to let you do that with the most effectiveness. Okay, I'm just going to show you a couple social tools really quick. There's some applications out there that are free that will allow you to integrate several different social media accounts together. For instance, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. One I've used in the past is called TweetDeck. And you can actually post to different social media sites at the same time. You can actually schedule posts to go out. So I could be out at the beach somewhere, and TweetDeck will put my posts up for me. And I can have those drip out throughout the day. Another one is Hootsuite. I'm sure there's more out there. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but you might want to check these out, and it will allow you to, again, you can put all your social media accounts under one umbrella here with a TweetDeck or Hootsuite or something like that. Now, customizing your profile. Let's talk about actually writing the profile and customizing it. Step one, as we just mentioned a moment ago, you want to choose the right photo. You want to the photo you pick should reflect the image that you want to portray. So you don't want to show yourself, say, shotgunning a beer with a lampshade on your head if you're trying to look professional. Does that make sense? It should also convey a positive, upbeat energy that will attract others. More often than not, I'm always telling people to smile. I mean, let's face it, if you were looking to get into business with somebody, would you rather be in business with this person or this person? So obviously, a positive, upbeat attitude, you will attract more positive, high energy, upbeat people to get into your business. So here we go. Writing a great profile. It doesn't have to be long. You don't have to write a novel, but it should convey three main points. And that is what you do, what your mission is, and who you are. Are you the life of the party? Are you the leader? You want to show people who you are. Let your hair down a little bit, folks, and just let people see exactly, through your wall so they get to know the real you. And it doesn't even have to be a big, long book. Like I said, it can be one sentence that shows who you are. Now, here we go. So let's write one. Let's just kind of see how this is done. Now, I got a friend who's a doctor, and he was having problems trying to figure out how to write a profile. So I told him I'd help. And let's introduce him right now. His name is Dr. Frank Zayas. And there he is. Some of you might know him. He's a famous movie star. And there's his picture. He's looking pretty handsome there. But like I said, you want to pick a profile picture with a little more upbeat attitude. So let's put one on where he's smiling. Okay, so there's Frank. He's smiling. Now, Dr. Zayas, what do you do? Well, he will tell you he's the Minister of Science and Chief Defender of the Faith. What is your mission? Well, to rid the earth of the vile infestation known as man. And of course, who he is. I also like ice cream and kitty cats. So you guys get the idea. What do you do? I'm an entrepreneur that's been working at home to raise my 3 kids. What is your mission? To bless other people with health and wealth through the power of television. Who are you? I love horses, dogs, and when my kids go to school, because I don't have to deal with them. You guys get the idea. Something like that. Something short that lets people see past the walls to who you really are. Okay. So here's some things you really need to do to build a network on Facebook, on Twitter, etc. Number 1, be active and interactive. As important as it is to like somebody's post, it's even more important to comment. I get a lot of likes on a lot of my posts, and I see a lot of other people do, but when you like it, you just become one of a number. You might be one of 100 people that like that post. When you comment on it, all of a sudden people are going to see your name. They're going to read your comment. And, always comment your opinion on that person's post. Whether it's, hey, great post, but don't just say, hey, great post so and so. Say, great post, and this is why I think it's great. That way you're going to encourage interaction not only with the person who put up the original post, but from the other people who have commented on that post. Does that make sense? And you can start conversations within that post thread with different people. I have gained so many friends that way. And the funny thing is, you do this for a while, and all of a sudden when you get up in the morning, there's going to be all these friend requests that you didn't even know were coming in, and there they are. And it's funny because friends of those friends will start requesting to become your friend as well. So this is how you can organically start to build a list. Now you also want to tag the people with whom you interact. Remember, put the little @ symbol. And when you tag them, especially in a comment thread, use their full name. Well, why is that? Well, number one, because when you use their full name, it sticks out in the comment thread that, for instance, if I was tagging Scott Nelson, I wouldn't just put Scott, I would put Scott Nelson. Because the people in that thread know who Scott Nelson is. Now they know I'm addressing Scott Nelson, and they want to see what I have to say to Scott Nelson. And then they'll probably either respond to what I said or put their own opinion under it and maybe even tag me in it. Again, that's how you start conversations with people on Facebook, on Twitter, on Google+. And that's how you start to build those relationships. The next thing you know, they're in your friend network. Now, who are you going to friend or follow? Number one, obviously people you know. Number two, the keynote speakers that you admire. I follow Jim Rohn. I follow Zig Ziglar because I love the content. That's stuff that I like to read every day. It gets my day started right. I feel empowered. And it's stuff that gets me motivated to help other people. But also the people in their network. You follow people who follow the make friends with people who follow the keynote speakers that you like. Chances are you have a lot in common with them. And I'll show you some strategies on how to do that in a little bit. Now, you also want to share, you want to friend or follow people that have common interests with you. You just look at the groups. Say that you're into spaghetti sauce, so you look for a spaghetti sauce group. And the people in that group, obviously you want to follow. Say you're into network marketing. I wonder if there's anybody on here that's into networking. Obviously, there's 1,000 network marketing, actually probably 10,000 network marketing groups on Facebook, Twitter, etc. And you can a lot of them are open. You can just go in and meet some people there as well. You want to friend the people in your company. Now, why is that? You can see in the parentheses it says play team. Well, again, I was talking earlier about, you don't need any SEO skills like you would in a blog. But Facebook especially has, well, they used to call it Edge Rank, but it evolved so fast. But the bottom line is the more likes and comments that you get on a thread, in other words, if you post something and like one person likes it, it's probably not going to be seen by a whole lot of people. But if you post something and then say 200 people like it and you have 75 comments on it, that post is going to get put into circulation and more people are going to see it. And the people who are commenting on that, it'll be seen by their network too. So again, if we post something as a team, if Scott Nelson were to post something, I'm definitely going to jump on it. I'm definitely going to like, and I'm definitely going to leave a comment because I want Scott's post to get pushed up in the Edge rank. I want more and more people to see it. The more people that see our post, the more people are going to find out about my results, the more people are going to join our businesses. Does that make sense? Now, last but not least, obviously, you want to make friends with people in other network marketing companies. And again, one of the best ways to do that is you find a big-time networker from another company, go to that person's wall. You don't even have to be a friend of that person. You can follow them. Once you follow them, you're able to read, and for the most part, you're able to comment. Sometimes they can block that, but you can go on and comment. And again, you start commenting on these posts, chances are that friend is going to, or that person is going to A, friend you, and B, the people that are commenting on that, the people that are reading that thread are going to get exposed to you and exposed to your opinions. Now, I love to joke around with other people on Facebook, and I can't tell you how fast I've made friends because of that, but when other people see that, hey, I'm joking around with this guy, They go, who's that Scott Giorgini guy? The next thing I know, they're interacting with me too. So again, that's how you can make friends on social media. Okay, and again, people who are following any of the above, if they're following somebody you like, if they're following somebody who has the same business goals as you have, chances are they have a lot in common with you as well. So these are people that you want to friend and follow. Okay, I can't stress this enough, and I kind of already went into this when I talked about the bots, but building a social media network is about quality, not quantity. Again, I would rather have 100 high quality people in my network than 1,000 that are fake accounts or spammers or whatever. Now, again, when somebody sends you a friend request, you don't have to click accept right away. Take a few minutes to look over their profile before adding them to your network. First thing I always look at is I see how many friends I have in common with the person. When I see that, I always see who those friends are that I have in common with them. And then I look down and I see, what kind of stuff that they post. Is it just all links for their business opportunity? Because if that's all they're posting, chances are they're just going to bash you over the head with that. And obviously that's not what you want. But if they're posting some quality stuff, if they're posting some things that you can interact with, if they seem to be, a professional driven person, that's somebody I want to connect with. Now, again, find people who have common interests with you and be sure to interact with them. Active and interactive is the key on social media. And building relationships is what networking is all about, folks, whether in person or the virtual world, as we said before. So as you interact with people in your network, you'll also be exposed to the people in their network. Again, I cannot stress that enough. Concentrate on quality first, and the quantity will take care of itself. Okay, so what kind of content should you put on your wall? How do you brand yourself? And the answer I always like to say is, what are you passionate about? What things really get you going in the morning? Now, passion, in other words, what do you love or love to do? When you create content about things that you're passionate about, that energy is felt. It's conveyed to your readers. They pick up on it. And when that happens, they're more easily going to trust the things that you post. They're going to come to recognize you as an authority on the subject, and they're going to readily click on links that you post, and that's huge. I mean, if you want somebody to go take a look at your biz op, you want them to have the warm fuzzies for you and click that link to get them over there. So what are they going to see when they get there? Okay, now, we definitely want to promote our business. We want to promote my results, but you don't want to post an endless stream of links to the things you're trying to promote. So in other words, don't just post my results links. Yes, post them. What I'm trying to say here is don't post nothing but my result links. You want them to be part of a recipe, if you will. They're a spice in the recipe of the things you post. You want a lot of your posts to be things that let people get to know who you are. And then my results is something you're passionate about. And, when you're posting about my results, obviously you want to post links to the opportunity presentations. The other things I would post about the business is if somebody joins my team, welcome them to the team. You're going to grab their picture. You're going to put that up, and I'm going to show you how to do this in a little bit. But grab their picture, put it up, welcome them to your team, and write a nice message about that person. If somebody hits a goal using one of our products, for instance, if somebody is using the weight loss protocol and they drop 10 pounds, wow. Say John Smith just lost 10 pounds using our weight release protocol. Awesome. Way to go, John. So again, show people the things that you're excited about, and they're going to start asking questions about it. And that's how you can really start bringing them in. When people start to ask questions about the things you're posting about the products and the business, that's when you can more easily invite them to get more information about the products and business. Does that make sense? Okay. So my point with the other thing is if you post nothing but links about the business, you're basically going to become a social media commercial. I always like to say social media is like TiVo. Excuse me. People watch the programs, but they fast forward past the commercials. Well, if you post nothing but links to business opportunities, people will label you as a spammer and they'll tune you out, unfriend you, unfollow you, whatever the case may be. Now, you also want to build relationships with the people in your network, like I said before. How do you do that? Number one, be yourself. Let them get to know the real you. Number two, active and interactive. I cannot stress that enough. Be friendly and helpful. If somebody asks for help or advice or opinion on something, chime in there. You don't have to be right. You just have to be sincere. Post content that your followers will appreciate. Again, stuff that gets them to know lets them know the real you, things that will bless them in some way. Give value first, self-promotion second. Again, if you post things of value, they're more likely going to stick around, read it, comment on it, or retweet it, repost it, share the post with the people in their network. And that's very important. Now, never lead with a sales pitch. Instead, give your network some valuable information that they might not get somewhere else. I always like to say the best thing to do is inform, educate, and entertain the people in your network. Let them know something that's going to bless them, educate them on something they might not know, and of course, post something on there that's going to give them a smile. Okay, so to recap, your main goal is to build relationships with your friends and followers. So make sure the things that you post, let them get to know who you are. Okay, other fun stuff you might want to post. And these are just some suggestions. And you know what? Some people are going to agree with these. Some people are going to disagree. I mean, there is no set in stone formula. But links to funny videos, pictures, etc., anything that's viral, that's great because then people will probably share it or retweet it. Links to songs that you're listening to. Now, I'll do this occasionally, but not always. This is something I might do once a month or maybe every couple of months. Christmas time, I'll post a Christmas song. But you don't want to make this a main part of your recipe. You can use Pandora Radio or Spotify, or better yet, videos on YouTube. Pictures and videos are huge, folks, because they get more attention than just a text post for the most part. Now, personal photos that you've taken. If you're doing something, maybe if you're at an event, you're hanging out with a bunch of your friends at a restaurant, take a selfie, take a picture of the group. If you're at a party, if you're at a barbecue, if you are at a great restaurant that you've never tried before, put the pictures up. Tell the people, oh my God, I had the best ribs in this place that I've ever had in my life. I'm in Memphis this weekend. Let people see that you're out there, you're having fun. You're somebody that they want to hang out with. Links to videos that you've created. Now, folks, if you have not created a video yet, start doing it. And by video, it doesn't have to be 10 minutes long. It could be maybe 1 to 2 minute message every day that you want to put up. You can shoot it with your cell phone. You don't even need an expensive camera to do that. And just get a free YouTube account and put your video up there. So if you have a little tip you want to share with people, or just a thought of the day that you want to share with people, do it. It'll let them actually see you and see how you are and your mannerisms and how you speak, etc. But more importantly, and I can't stress this enough, did you know that YouTube is owned by Google? Let that sink in for a minute. A lot of times YouTube videos rise very high on search engine or search engine results. So one way for you to get ranked is to put a video up on a certain topic. Hint, hint. Okay, you can share recipes if you want. Maybe you made something yummy, you post the recipe for it. Post about your favorite vacation spots, restaurant recommendations, etc. These are just a few ideas. You guys probably have 1,000 more. And again, what I normally like to do or like to recommend is, if I'm posting a certain kind of thing, for instance, if I post a lot of recipes and they don't get a lot of interaction, I'll probably back off posting those. Remember, your goal is to get more likes and comments. That way your stuff's seen by more people. So if you're posting things that don't seem to be getting a lot of likes and comments, you might want to back off of it a little bit. Okay. Now, engage your network. This is imperative. Again, be active and interactive. Well, there we go. Encourage interaction. This is the best way to do it. Ask a question. You might want to put something up like this. Like, if I could go anywhere in the world right now, I would go to, and then you're going to get people putting Aruba, Hawaii, blah, blah, blah. You guys get what I see. What's your favorite comedy movie of all time? I love Mondays because. You guys get the point. I want to make a point about what I put there for that second question that says, what's your favorite comedy movie of all time? Be cognizant of the way you word things, because I've done this twice. I have posted what's the best comedy movie of all time, and I've posted what's your favorite comedy movie of all time. Now, those things are pretty close, but when you say what's the best, people are less likely to comment because all of a sudden they feel pressure that, oh, what if somebody doesn't agree with my opinion of what's the best? So they're less likely to comment. They're a little apprehensive. But what's your favorite? Now you've taken all the pressure off, and you make them not only think about what their favorite comedy movie is, but why it's their favorite. They might post a little thing about, my favorite comedy movie of all time is Caddyshack. I saw it, and they think of the story about when they saw it. I saw it when I was 18 years old at the drive-in, and I was with 5 of my best friends, and we had the best time ever. And they'll think of those wonderful feelings they had that take them back to that moment in time. So you guys get the idea, and it also lets you get to know the person. They'll post something on there, and then you respond to that. Oh, hey, I love Caddyshack too. I saw it at a drive-in too. You guys get the idea. Just tell your story, and then the next thing you know, you're making friends with people. Okay, you can also encourage interaction by asking for likes. You guys can see what I have in there. Click like if you could use a cup of coffee right now. Click like if you wish you were at the beach right now. Click like if you're ready to make a change for the better, that kind of thing. Now, again, likes are great, comments are better. So you also want to try to post something that's going to encourage commenting, but that's why I like asking questions better, because people are more likely to comment on a question. But likes are also good. Anything that's going to raise your visibility on social media is a good thing. Okay, use pictures and videos. I just mentioned it before, as often as possible. The better the picture, the more it's shared. You might even ask like for a show me how you feel now photo, and the next thing you know, you're going to get a bunch of selfies on the post. You guys get the idea. Be creative. Think outside the box. Look at what the most successful, let me just back up for a minute. Put it this way. When you get onto Facebook in the morning, think about the people that you see the most in your news feed, because those people are doing it right. If you see the same, say, 5 people all the time, study what they're doing. Study the things they're posting, okay? And then try to emulate some of the things that you're seeing from them the most often. And the next thing you know, you're going to be one of the people that's going to be seen in news feeds more often than not. Does that make sense? Now, you also, let's move to the next slide. How to get your posts read and links clicked. Number one, you want to relax and have fun. Don't be too obvious with your post. You want to create curiosity so that people are more likely to click. In other words, you don't want to give them all the information in the post, because then they're not likely to click it at all. So for instance, which one of these would you be more likely to click? Click here to go to my weight loss blog and read my post about the super duper weight release patches that will make you lose 100 pounds in 10 days and where you can buy it for great prices in your link. Now you just basically sprayed that person with a fire hose full of information there, and they're probably not going to click over to that because they know you're trying to sell them something. You also made a false comment, and trust me, folks, you don't want to make false claims about any products that we have. You want to be truthful, and you want to create curiosity. So here's another way to put it. Wow, I can't believe how easy this is. I've already lost 10 pounds this month by doing this. And I emphasize the word this, and I'll get into that in a minute. And then you put the arrows toward your link there. So people are already thinking, well, what did that person do? They lost 10 pounds this month. And they're more than likely just to click over just to see what you did. Does that make sense? Okay. Post before and after pictures if you're talking about weight loss, especially whenever you can. Post a picture to underscore whatever you're talking about is my point there. Okay. How do you stand out in a crowd? Well, there's a few different strategies you can use to do that. Number one is capitalize keywords. Facebook doesn't let you use bold, italic, or underline. But if you capitalize certain words, like I have in this slide here, you can see that they will stand out from the rest of the words. So it's an effective way to get words to stand out. And you can also see, do not overuse this, because if all the letters are capitalized, then none of them will stand out. And people feel like you're screaming at them, by the way, if you capitalize every single letter in something. So you want to stay away from that. Another thing you can do is use asterisks, or even 2. If you got something extra important to share, you tag it, just like I did there, with some asterisks. You can also use the arrow keys, the greater than and less than symbols as arrows to point out keys in a sentence. I always use two of them to point. If I'm posting a link to a website, I'll have the two arrows point to the link. It's kind of like a command almost. It tells people, oh, click this. So if you use two of them, you can point out links or brilliant observations that you have in your post. Now you can use parentheses, and like I said, seriously, use them. Parentheses are a great way to kind of break your post apart, and it's a great way for you to inject inner thoughts into what you're posting there. So, like I said, it's like letting somebody see right into your mind. So use those and use them strategically, and people are going to really get more out of your posts. It's also a way to break up a sentence so you don't have a big run-on sentence going on. And let me just talk about that for a second, because I see a lot of people that are great marketers and horrible posters. They'll just post one big, long run-on sentence with no punctuation at all. And I'm sure people have seen that as well. Folks, use punctuation, even if it's not the proper punctuation. As long as you have something in there, like periods, commas, exclamation points, even the 3 dots like I used after seriously, use it. It breaks the sentence up into smaller, more digestible pieces, and it really helps people to read your posts. Okay, picture is worth 1,000 words. Like we said before, use images to help emphasize your posts and make them stand out from other posts. And that works for comments too as well. As always, a humorous image can go a long way towards, first of all, getting people to notice you, but engaging them in virtual conversations, and it helps you build relationships, once again, while helping you to develop your brand. And the thing on the right with the words on it, you see those all over Facebook. That's called a meme. And usually there's a meme for just about any topic you can think of. And a lot of times if I see somebody post something and I think, oh, there's got to be a funny meme about that, I'll just do a search for it. I'll just go to Google and go, awesome meme or something like that. And then this is one of the pictures you can grab. Just copy the picture and post it over on Facebook, and all of a sudden that cool meme is up in your post. Okay, personally thank new followers for following you, or new friends for becoming your friend. Make sure you can send them a welcome direct message as well, but anyone that you send them is not about you. So I'll show you one that I actually got today. It's just the wrong way to go about it. You don't want to like have somebody become your friend and the first thing you do is send them a link to your opportunity. Even if you word it nicely, you haven't even talked to that person yet. You've built no relationship. So what are the chances that they're really going to click on your link and join your business? Not very high. You can see I actually have that picture there. When I get a new friend, I always send them this picture here. So I'll say, hey, hey, let's say I just made friends with Scott Nelson. Hey, Scott, great to connect with you. And I'll stick that picture there. And it's basically like leaving my business card on their page. And I can't tell you how many other people see that when they go to that person's page and they like it. And the next thing I know, they even comment on it. And the next thing I know, I have friend requests from people I haven't met because it's from that person's network. Now, obviously, the bad way to do it is, hey, check out all my cheap products at iwantosellyoustuff.com. Enjoy my business, please. I can't tell you how many. I mean, maybe not worded exactly like that, but I do get a ton of direct messages just like that. And I'll tell you what, the urge right then is to unfriend that person. Oh, by the way, I'm pretty good at Photoshop, so obviously I was able to make a cool picture like that. But if you don't have the skills to do that, just go to Fiverr.com. That's Fiverr.com. Fiverr.com. Fiverr with 2 R's. You can get people to do all kinds of creative graphic artwork like that for $5, maybe $10. Sometimes something's an add-on. I actually had a happy birthday one that I had done where I had the guy actually take a picture of me and make a cartoon out of me. So again, for $5 or $10, you can have a person make that, and that can really help to build your business. Again, that's Fiverr.com, Fiverr. I will put that in the chat. Hold on a second here. Fiverr.com. Okay. Building a relationship with your followers. Spend most of your time, as I said before, on other people's walls. Yeah, you want to post a few cool things every day, but you don't need to go overboard. You don't need to be posting 10, 15, 30 things a day. You post anywhere from, say, 2 to 5 things a day and you're good to go. But if you spend more time on somebody else's wall, chances are you're going to build a relationship with that person. You're going to respond to them. And like I said before, with the @ and use their whole name or DM them. And the thing is, then they're going to follow you back to your wall. Does that make sense? If they see that you're posting cool comments on somebody else's post, they're probably going to click over to see the kind of stuff that you posted on your wall, and they're going to start liking and commenting on that stuff. Okay. If somebody sends you a friend request, take the time to read the profiles of the people that you interact with and find out what you have in common with them. Again, if you find out those commonalities, you can build the relationship. All right. Build your list and network, your social media goals. Once again, build your list or network. Brand yourself. You are what you post, to recap here. Build relationships with your followers and your friends. Find out how you can help them. Remember, find out the things they need, want, or don't want. Drive traffic to what you are promoting, whether it's a webinar for My Resultz, whether you put a blog post up, a video, maybe you want to send a link out to your product page. You guys get the idea. Okay, again, the key to any successful business is to find out what your customers need, want, or don't want. I need to make more money. I want to send my kids to college. I don't want to have to work 7 jobs to do so. Does that make sense? You find these things out, and then My Resultz is obviously the vehicle to help them get what they need, want, or don't want. But if you don't have that information, then you don't have the key to get them to join you in the business. Okay, so that's the Get Social, the social media boot camp. Now let's actually dive onto Facebook, and I'm going to show you guys a couple other strategies that'll help you to build a network of people. Let me minimize the PowerPoint first. Mr. Mouse is not being cooperative. Now look at that. In the time that we did this webinar, I already have a friend request there. So you guys can see how it works. Let me see. First of all, let me show you this. Birthdays. And this is a really important thing to do. Birthdays. Always say happy birthday to the people, but another thing that this lets you do is clean up your list. A lot of people, especially when they first get on the social media, maybe they use those methods I talked about before, where you use a bot to get your friends or your followers, or maybe you just accept everybody that asks for your friendship. Well, after a while, you're going to start running into your 5,000 friend limit. And believe you me, that can happen. And then you're going to have to go back through and clean up your list. Well, the way I like to do it every day is I go through the birthdays. And I will click over and I will see if that person is actually worth keeping on my list. So let's just open that in a new tab. I just right-clicked on her name. And Angie. So again, just like I'm looking for a friend there, I notice I have 114 mutual friends with her. That's a good thing. I go down over here and I see who those people are. And I know Nick, and I know a few of these people here. I know Janie. And these are all quality networkers. So I know this person's probably going to be a good person to keep in my network. Now, I'm glad she did this, because a lot of people, see it right here? You can't post, even though I'm her friend, I can't post something on her wall. Some people have their walls that way by default, or a lot of people do it on their birthday just because they don't want 1,000 happy birthdays on their wall. But what I do in that case, and if I look down, I don't notice anybody saying happy birthday to her in this area here. I'll still maybe click in here and say happy birthday to her, or I'll click to her picture, because you always want to like the person's picture. And then right here, I will put, hey, Angie, and you're going to notice when I type her name, all of a sudden, look, there's all the names right there. Now, I told you before, you should always post their first and last name, but if the message is something more personal like this, I generally just hit the backspace. Now I just got her first name. And I'm going to put, looks like it's time for a party. And then here's another little thing I like to do. I got this little smiley character I use all the time that people know me for. I use that all the time, and the next thing you know, it sticks out. It makes me stand out from everybody else. Well, now I'm going to put a photo in there, because like I said before, here we go. Okay. Right here, I have a happy birthday one. And again, I paid some guy like $10 to do this on Fiverr. Or actually, he made the cartoon of me. I made the happy birthday card. But I mean, again, you can have people make these cards for you. So I'm going to put open. All of a sudden, that's going into the post. And bang, there we go. So again, super shout out for a happy birthday. Wishing you a blessed and amazing day. And I signed it. So again, it stands out to other people. It will make them appreciate you. And while I was at it, I was able to look over and see that, yes, this person was, worth keeping in my network there. And now, even though I haven't connected with her in a while, all of a sudden, maybe I will reconnect with her. She's going to say thanks, more than likely. She's going to interact with me in some way. And then the next thing you know, I might get a conversation going with her. Okay, so you do that with the birthdays. Now, here's a cool way to build your network here. What you do is you find, let's say, a big-time networker. And for this example, I'm going to use Scott. And you can see Scott Nelson has just popped up there. Okay, now here's Scott's wall. Now, obviously, Scott and I have a lot of friends in common, but, he's probably got a lot of friends that aren't friends of mine. So I just clicked my cursor right before his name there. If you guys can see this to the left of his name, I'm going to write friends of, and it'll say friends of Scott Nelson. Move the cursor, who are not my friends. I click return, and there you go. All of a sudden, all the people that are in Scott's network that are not in my network are right there. And I can see, like, Troy Dooley, I have 178 mutual friends with, and then it shows me some of the mutual friends I have with them. Roman Retzbach, 103 mutual. Look at this one here. Kara Wiley, I have 327 mutual friends with. Why isn't this woman in my network? So this is what I'm going to do. Now, you don't want to go down here, click an add friend, add friend, add friend, add friend. That's the worst thing you can do, because then you will go into what's called Facebook jail. A lot of these people are going to complain that, oh, this person's friending me and I have no idea who the heck they are. Well, after a while, they get too many complaints and your Facebook profile gets shut down. You don't want that to happen. But what I will do is this. I will send Carla a message and I'll write, hi, Carla. I noticed that you and I have 327, I'm the world's worst typist, folks, friends in common. And I might even put a little personal thing like, wow, I'm amazed we're not already connected. And I bet, again, world's worst typist, folks, that we also share a lot of common interests. Would it be okay if I sent you a friend request? Scott. So there we go. I signed it. I'll put the little smiley guy there too, because now she knows I'm a happy dude. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm asking her for permission. So I'll send her that request. Now, you might want to do maybe 15 of these a day. You don't want to go overboard with this either. But more often than not, you're going to find probably 7 or 8 out of 10 people are going to get back to you and go, hey, sure, I'd love to connect with you. And at that point, you just made a new friend. And if Facebook happens to send you a warning, you back off for a while. But 10 or 15, you should be flying under the radar. And as long as you ask them for permission first, well, then when they send you the message saying, sure, yeah, I'd love to become your friend, they're expecting your friend request. So when you send it over, and I usually go, oh, great, can't wait to connect with you, friend request on the way, and I send them a friend request. Now I've just put another networker in my own personal friend list. Now, again, that's why you want to go after big time networkers, because chances are their friends are networkers. And again, you can click over to her profile if you want to take a peek at it first, and you can see the kind of quality stuff she posts, and look at the friends you have in common with her, et cetera, and so forth. So again, that's another good strategy that you can use to build your friends list. Okay, so I'll tell you what, I am gonna take some questions now. If anybody has questions on anything, and we will go over. Oh, what did I do before? Gary asked me to do something again. Click.
All right, Scott, I think he wants you to do that little exercise about how you just went to My Friends and
Okay.
added. Okay.
Okay. So again, let's just go to Scott Nelson. Again, anybody that you know, here, I'll use another one. There's a guy I know that's an Empower Network, and he's also a pretty highly renowned personal development trainer, Aaron Rashkin. You can see that I interact with him a lot because he's the first guy that popped up. So I will put, again, I click my cursor before his name, and I type friends of Aaron Rashkin, and then after his name, that are not my friends. And I just hit return. And there's a whole list of people that are in Aaron's network that aren't in my network. And again, you can just pop right down here: 178 mutual, 266, 101. I've had people that aren't in my network that I've had over 700 mutual friends with. So I would write to that person, wow, we have 700 mutual friends. Why aren't we connected? But the best thing to do is you always ask them for permission first. Then they expect your friend request when obviously when they respond to you, they're expecting your friend request, your friend request, and you won't go to Facebook jail. Does that make sense? So again, spend maybe 10 minutes a day doing this. 10 to 15 requests a day is plenty. You can even copy your message and paste it in. Just make sure that you change the name every time you do it. You always want to refer to them by name, and you always want to sign it. And always put the exact number of mutual friends you have with that person too, because then they know that you're actually taking the time to do that. They'll respect and admire that. Okay. What else do we have? And also family members. Well, in the network, yeah, I'm sure there's family members in there as well. But the trick is if you have a lot of mutual friends with that person, chances are they're networkers. Okay. Thanks for the compliment, Bob. This is, as you said, it's hard to absorb it all. There will be, this is being recorded, so this is going to be posted on the My Results page. It's going to be on the My Results YouTube channel as well. So I'm sure it's going to be uploaded over the next couple days here. We have any more questions before we wrap it up? I know I went through a lot of stuff today, and frankly, we're only scratching the surface. Social media is always changing and evolving, so there's always going to be new content. Now,
Yeah, Scott.
yeah, go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, Scott. This is Scott. Yeah, I think what I got out of this excellent training, by the way, Scott, is the fact that when you're using social media, you really want to focus on building the relationship. We're all guilty, and we want to get people over to our website with the new products coming out here very shortly. We're going to want to get advertisements up so people can click over to your websites. But it really is, as Scott put, really getting your contact list. We always get asked that question. Why have you been so successful in making money from home? It's not because I'm any smarter than anybody else. It's that the only thing that I was smart is 10, 15 years ago, I started to capture people's information. When they sent me an email about their business, I would always make sure I had their email address and their name, and then I would add them into my own contact list so I could market them right back about my opportunity. Same thing. Now with the evolution of social commerce, Facebook and all these other networks, when you get people that send you a friend request. Go check out their profile. Like Scott said, send them a note back, friend them, and say, hey, thanks for your request. I'm looking forward to getting to know you. Don't go back and say, hey, are you looking for a business opportunity? So great training, Scott. I hope that you'll put session number 2 together soon so we can go further into it.
Definitely, definitely. On that note, we'll wrap it up. I just wanted to show you. Just reminded me, Scott. This guy here, who's in my friend network. I mean, he hasn't been in my friend network that long. This is the first contact I've had with him. They wrote this very nicely, but basically, hi, nice to meet you. Here's my BizOp link. I mean, what are the chances that I'm going to click on this? So again, take a little time to develop the relationship, people. This might not happen overnight. This isn't somebody you've known for years. You want to develop the relationship, let them get to know, like, and trust you, and you're going to find more often than not they're going to start asking you about what you're doing. But you might just lead with, "Hey, are you open to looking at something?" But after you know the person for a while, don't just send them a link right away, because more often than not they're just going to unfriend you. So I think we'll leave you with that today. And again, this is recorded. It will be posted. It should be up within a couple of days. If anybody has any questions, they can send them into the support line, right, Scott?
Absolutely, yeah. Just go ahead and go over to the Facebook page if you aren't already a member of our private Facebook support group. Just go to Facebook, type in My Results, and you'll see our group over there. And last but not least, don't forget, do not miss tomorrow evening's opportunity presentation. We'll have some special updates with Trip Mayhew and myself. That will be tomorrow evening. I'm going to send out a link as soon as I get done here with Scott, and you'll have that to register. You won't want to miss that. 8 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night, Sunday, and that will be an update and opportunity presentation. So make sure you invite all of the people. We're getting very close to the actual pre-launch, and you'll want to make sure you have people positioned before the pre-launch begins. Just take my little hint on that and get busy. I'll have that link out to you in the next hour. So thanks so much, Scott. Awesome training, and we'll look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time.
Awesome. Thanks, Scott. And
Thank you, Scott.
See everybody later.